So how do you handle anxiety in a reading, either when you're doing one for yourself or when you're doing readings for other people? How do you manage anxiety that crops up and that gets in the way of your ability to read? Coming up right after this. Good afternoon, this is Lucky Lynx. But there's a subject that's been coming up with my students, and a lot of my students have been talking about this in tarot group and in other groups. It's a common problem. It's something that I had to deal with when I first started. And I've never revealed this, but when I first started doing readings for people, I had severe anxiety. Not during the reading. Once I get involved in a reading, it would be fine. But I would do a lot of festivals, a lot of public venues. When I was first starting out and I was uncertain about my ability, I would get extreme anxiety while waiting for clients. So I know this very well. I know this subject very well. There are a lot of tricks that I've developed over the years, and if anyone is interested, really interested, my partner actually suggested that I do a class on how to deal with anxiety in tarot readings, and I'm actually willing to do it if people are interested. And if you're willing and interested to do it, I can form a class and start right away, coaching people right from the beginning, teaching them how to work with it based on what you guys need. Because this is something that I think is not necessarily a one-size-fits-all kind of thing, a one-solution-fits-all situation. So I'm in a public place here doing work, and thank you for your patience with what's going on in the background. But I did this on purpose because this is actually the first point that I need to make about getting anxiety when you're giving readings. When you're getting anxiety because you're about to do readings or you're working through something with people, you're getting anxiety because you're trying to control everything. Okay? So you're trying to control the outcome right before it even gets started. You want it to be right, you want to impress the person, you want it to be accurate, you want to know that you've got something going on, you want to know that you really have the gift, you want to know that you're speaking to the spirit world. I will tell you right now, whether or not the spirit world supports you or whether the spirit world sort of consumes you has something to do with your birth chart. I know that as a fact. And it changes at times. There are some times when the connection is stronger, there are some times when the connection is weaker, and that's for a reason. A lot of reasons. As the elements shift and change around, people can have days where they feel more connected and days when they're not so connected, and that's the way it happens. The way to become adaptable to those situations is that you have to practice in all kinds of situations and all kinds of circumstances. So if you right from the beginning, if you're worried about controlling the circumstances. Now people, when I started doing this channel, they would complain that I'd be in a public place or something like, well, I can't hear you because you're in a public place and there's all this stuff going on in the background. Well, yeah, that's my point, is that you can't have, if you have to control everything so that you can only do this when you're quiet, well, you're setting up situations where your ability will not be as adaptable. And if you can only practice this or work with this in certain, when you're at home alone and quiet, it's going to limit your adaptability too. And I'm doing it here in this public place in the middle of, while I'm doing other stuff, to make a point, is that you won't always be in control of what happens. Things will come up that you may not understand. Things will come up that the being in the deck or the demon in the deck is trying to convey to you, and you will find yourself not being able to understand what the being is saying because either you don't have the experience or the language, you don't have the language developed, or maybe you haven't been exposed to that thing. And so if you think that you have to be all-knowing and control everything, you're going to create anxiety for yourself. So this is a huge topic, and one that really takes a lot, and there's a lot of layers to it. So I thought I'd start here with this idea that you have to drop the idea that you're in control of everything. That is sort of a messiah complex, and that's the belief that you are an almighty, all-seeing deity, and that's not the way divination works. And anyone who's telling you that is the way it works, or they're trying to force an answer to you so that they look like they're all-seeing, they're likely to mislead their clients, they're likely to mislead the person they're reading for, and the reading is likely to be more about them than it is about actually getting the accurate information that needs to be read. So the first thing I want you guys to consider in this subject of anxiety while doing the tarot readings is that you have to let go of trying to control everything, trying to control the outcome, trying to control the environment, trying to control everything. This stuff happens best when you can silence that voice inside of you that wants to control everything and just let what comes out come out naturally. And that really is the key to being spooky accurate. People ask me all the time, it's like, how do you get so accurate with your answers? Well, the less I care about what information comes out, the more accurate it gets. So there's quite a bit of exercises and things I've developed over the years for myself in dealing with anxiety. In like if I've gotten worried and I have to read for myself and my own emotions getting in the way, if I'm worried and I'm reading for someone, there's quite a few things I've learned. So like I said, if you want me to develop a class, I can do it. But I just want to open this topic for discussion right now and get people to start talking. So what are your experiences with anxiety in readings? And put them in the comments below, and then share it. Please share this video everywhere, because I'd like to start. I'm actually thinking about doing a class here where I teach people how to deal with anxiety and in tarot, or nervousness, or getting in your own way, or emotions that overcome you. But my first point that I'm trying to make, that I'm going to make here for you guys, is the first thing you've got to do is you've got to give up the control of everything. And there are a lot of people out there that will tell you that they, or they try to maintain more control. They try to control everything. That's going to limit what comes out. I promise you, it's really going to limit you. So the first thing I want you guys to consider is let go of control. And if you let go of control, it really is like an art. Any one of you who's actually an artist or a writer or a painter or a dancer, you find that once you learn the technique, or once you learn the choreography, or once you learn how to put words together, you forget it. And then when you drop yourself, the art comes through you. That's why I call this as an art. This works the same way. And as someone who grew up in the art world and is an artist, the one thing that I noticed that was most obvious about doing the tarot is the same process I do when I drop myself and I'm writing a novel and the story floods out, is what happens when I'm doing a reading. So, and that's when you give up control. You forget what you've learned and just give up control and then allow it to flow through you. So that's the first tip I have for you guys on how to deal with anxiety when you're doing tarot readings for yourself or for other people, or you're worried. And I believe it has to be practical. One of my students said the other day, he said, if I hear one more person tell me to just take that step forward, he goes, what the hell does that even mean? He goes, like, I'm gonna hit someone if they say that to me again. But the first thing you've got to do is you've got to get yourself in the mindset where you let go of control of everything. So, do it in different circumstances. Do it in a loud public place. Do it in a quiet place. Do it in the woods. Do it in a park. Do it in a restaurant while you're reading for someone in a restaurant. Try different circumstances, different areas under different conditions, and see if you can still get the information. When you're focusing on getting the information in different circumstances, you're going to give up the control of trying to see what's going on around you and trying to control the circumstances of everything around you. You're going to get more adaptable. You're going to get stronger naturally. And if you're more capable of doing this in a variety of circumstances, under a variety of conditions, for all kinds of people, not just one kind of person, well then that anxiety is less likely to emerge. So that's the first tip I got for you guys. I'm probably going to put some more out there, but again, what are your experiences with anxiety in doing readings? And what would you like to know? Again, I'm thinking of starting a class, and if you'd like, I can start a class right away, put you in it right away, and start working with you guys through video. And I've already got a meditation that I can give you guys that I made that would help. But consider this first piece: give up control. I'm Lucky Lynx, as always, wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do. If you guys would like to get a reading from me, 779-302-8009 or conjurehope@gmail.com. If you'd like to take a class in how to read Mexican Loteria, or how to read tarot cards, or how to read Lenormand, or how to read playing cards, or how to read crystal ball, I got a class for you. And hey, and if you want to take a class in how to do readings without anxiety, or to get past anxiety while doing readings, then contact me, 779-302-8009 or conjurehope@gmail.com. If you'd like to get your Tibetan Astrology Chart done, I've got a wait list for those, but it's worth the wait. Contact me, 779-302-8009 or gmail.com. And if you like these videos and you want to donate to help keep them coming, well then please, I will put my Venmo and my PayPal in the spot below. Remember, if you're trying to control everything, you're going to create a great deal of anxiety for yourself. And that's the first thing you've got to consider when you're going to do readings. Am I trying to control the circumstances, or am I staying open and loose and going with it? Go like water. Don't try to grab hold and hold everything like earth.